1823 In West Africa, the Kingdom of Dahomey has crowned a youthful king, Gizo, according to the opening crawl, John Boyga. The Mahi people and their adversaries, the Oyo Empire, have joined forces to kidnap Dahomey villagers and sell them as slaves to the Europeans. With their weapons and horses, the Oyo have an advantage. The General Nanisca, Viola Davis, led Agoji, a squad of female Amazon warriors from the Dahomey, are in charge of guarding the kingdom. Amenza. Nanisca. Izoji. The Agoji enter a Mahi village, killing the troops before discovering and releasing the imprisoned residents. The Agoji accompany the prisoners home in the morning while they mourn their dead. Before more Oyo show up, the warriors head back home, where Gizo regards Nanisca as his most dependable soldier. Nawi. Nawi, Thuzombedo, a young woman, is led to a guy who wants to marry her despite the fact that he is older and violent. The man slaps Nawi when she doesn't respond to him, and she strikes back by pushing the man so hard that he falls over. He is enraged and declines to propose to her. Her father transports Nawi to the Agoji and presents her to the ruler. Izoji, a soldier for the Agoji, takes her in, Lashna Lynch. General Oba Aid, Jimmy Odukoya, leading the Oyo soldiers, discovers their friends' bodies. Chante. King Gizo. They plot their next course of action against Dahomey when Oba Aid mocks them for allowing one of their fellow warriors to be slaughtered by a woman. Gizo speaks to his council about the Oyo danger. The slave trade is another topic brought up by Nanisca, who claims that their kingdom is in the dark because its citizens are being sold into slavery. She suggests that they trade in gold or palm oil. Before he makes a choice, Gizo instructs Nanisca to demonstrate how much palm oil they can produce. The new Agoji recruits are addressed by Amenza, Nanisca's right-hand lady, Sheila Atim, who promises them that they would battle and even die for their throne. A number of the women go, but the majority, including Nawi, decide to stay. Nawi is then instructed by Izoji to take a bath, which she does before speaking with Nanisca. The ladies start their instruction, until Nanisca enables her to try on a wooden statue so she may decapitate it. Nawi is perplexed as to why they begin with ropes and feels that she should start with a bladed weapon. Nanisca cuts off the head with one swing since the sword is too heavy for Nawi to handle. Izoji tells Nawi in a nighttime conversation how her mother tolerated her abusers until she took legal action. Later on, the women continue their training by jogging, firing weapons, and picking up combative techniques. Nawi pulls a practical joke by detonating a little explosive on one of the sculptures. As Nanisca reprimands her, she accepts responsibility for it. Later, Izoji informs Nawi about how Nanisca's exploits are legendary since she attained her positions after being taken prisoner and left for dead. Amenza pays a visit to Nanisca in her hut and then uses special nuts to tell her that she sees someone from Nanisca's past returning for her. Outside, Nanisca observes Nawi sharpening her sword skills against one of the statues. The Oyo arrive at the gates of the kingdom to fight Gizo. Nanisca is frightened as Oba Aid approaches since Oba Aid regularly sexually assaulted her while she was a prisoner. They request 40 Agoji soldiers as tribute, but Gizo only agrees to 20. Amenza is told by Nanisca that her vision was accurate. Santo Ferreira. Captain Santo Ferreira, Hero finds Tiffin, and his buddy Malik, Jordan Bolger, whose mother was from Dahomey, lead the Portuguese immigrants as they make their way into Africa. Malik is terrified to see the kidnapped indigenous. The Agoji and Oyo are in conflict when the men arrive on the scene. Nanisca brings the chopped heads of his troops to Oba-Aid after announcing that they won't be paying tribute. When the two tribes start fighting, Nawi sees a chance to release the prisoners, which Nanisca claims deviates from their strategy. After they make their getaway, Nanisca rips at Nawi, but Amenza informs her in private that she was the one who veered from the plan since she was more focused on getting rid of Oba-Aid. While discussing preparations for the Oyo to join forces with other tribes to invade Dahomey and abduct more people to sell off, Ferreira and Malik meet with Oba-Aid and his men. Malik is uneasy by the information. He afterwards walks to the water to have a bath, when Nawi discovers him, in the nude. He informs her about his Dahomey ancestry and refutes her charge that he is a slaver. Before she withdraws to rejoin the others, he presents her a piece of jewelry. The Agoji trainees compete in a little tournament held by the kingdom, completing a course that includes scaling a wall, dodging opponents, and eventually beheading a statue. Gizo congratulates Nawi on her skills and expertise as she emerges as the winner. Nanisca later senses something on Nawi's arm while she is ministering to her wounds. Amenza follows her back to her room as Nanisca questions her about a kid that she had long ago given up because she is starting to think Nawi may be that child. Ferreira tells Gizo that without the slaves, his country would be nothing and vulnerable as he discusses his plans to perhaps end Dahomey's involvement in the slave trade. The Europeans, Gizo responds, similarly vulnerable if they are no longer useful to him. Izoji noticed them conversing covertly while Ferreira was speaking to Gizo and gets the impression that Nawi could like Malik. Later, when they meet in secret, Nawi offers Malik a totem to protect him. She just takes one of his knives when he protests that he has nothing to give her. Nawi runs into Nanisca while getting ready for the shower, and she reprimands her for leaving Malik behind. Following their argument, Nanisca visits Nawi and shares the story of the baby she abandoned. Amenza assisted Nanisca in concealing and outing the victim of rape. The child's left arm was sliced and a shark tooth was inserted into it, according to Nanisca. In order to remove the tooth and prove that Nawi is in fact her daughter and hence also the daughter of Oba-Aid, Nanisca makes an incision in Nawi's arm. Nawi turns away in shock. The Oyo camp is monitored the next morning by Nanisca and a few of her men. They ignite their ammunition and send off many blasts, frightening their horses and leaving them exposed. Attacked by the Agoji, many Oyo and Agoji are killed in the ensuing violent battle, and several of the ladies, including Izoji and Nawi, are abducted. When Nawi notices that a lady's ties have come undone as the wagon is moving away, she exhorts the woman to get off the wagon and flee back to Dahomey. In captivity, Nawi aids Izoji in an effort to mend her shattered arm. The young lady leaves towards Dahomey and tells Nanisca about the Oyo's intention to exact revenge on the Agoji. Nanisca is given a promotion by Gizo, who prevents her from taking further action, but she and Amenza work behind his back to save the other people. Izoji and Nawi start a struggle as the European slavers arrive to take the prisoners, but Izoji is shot dead and dies in Nawi's arms as she cries for her sister. Narwi is incarcerated, but Malik visits her and explains to her how the prisoners are being transported to England and how he wants to protect her. It is indicated that they will thereafter become cozy. The warriors are led by Naniska into the camp of the Europeans for an assault. Before releasing the prisoners, they assault the guys and set fire to their camp. When Ferreira turns against them and frees the prisoners, they pull him into the lake and beat him while holding his head underwater till he drowns. When Naniska eventually faces up against Oba Aid, Narwi assists her in combat. The guide tries to hit Naniska, but she overwhelms him and impales him, killing him in the process. When everyone gets home, Narwi breaks up with Malik. When the Agoji come home with their prisoners, Gizo confronts Naniska. He thanks her for putting an end to the Oyo Empire and formally elevates her to the title of Woman King, despite the fact that she disobeyed him. Everyone applauds her. When Narwi travels to honor Izoji, Naniska goes with her. After then, she refers to Narwi as her daughter. The two then proceed to dance in celebration with the others. The female Agoji warriors of the Dahomey dynasty in Africa served as the inspiration for the movie. Their adversaries, the Oyo Empire, are selling Dahomey people who have been taken hostage by European slave dealers. A young lady named Narwi, who is handed to King Gizo after refusing to marry a suitor, is among the newcomers who are trained by General Naniska, who also commands the ladies. Narwi is revealed to be Naniska's daughter as a consequence of Naniska being sexually assaulted while being kept prisoner by Oyo General Oba Aid. Because of this, she becomes more motivated by vengeance than by logic. Narwi and her teacher Izoji are among the Agoji and Dahomey villagers who are taken into custody after spearheading an assault against the Oyo camp. Naniska commands her warriors to free the prisoners in defiance of Gizo's instructions. One of the men, Malik, who is partly Dahomey on his mother's side, rebels against his comrades and hands up Captain Santo Ferreira to be beaten and drowned by the prisoners while they fight the Europeans. Izoji is slain, but Narwi aids Naniska in combat, and Naniska kills Oba Aid in the process. As the Woman King when she comes home as a hero, Naniska starts to establish a mother-daughter bond with Narwi.